All right, guys, so I'm talking a little bit about the Alaska trip and Noah. It looks like Noah's trip has been slightly delayed, which means that it might overlap when I'm intending to go to Alaska. So Noah and I have been talking about possibly meeting up in Alaska together. A lot of people have been asking in our comments and stuff like that if we were planning on meeting up, and originally we actually weren't. But with his slight delay, it makes it where he might end up doing that. So also, if I'm meeting up with Noah, I don't really have to prep for my trip quite as much. So there's certain things that I need to be able to like charge my phone and have internet access up there. So I need like a Starlink, I need a small generator, I need like a solar backup generator, stuff like that. But if I'm meeting up with Noah, he already has a Starlink, he already has ways to charge phones and cameras and stuff like that. So if I meet up with him, it's not going to take me as long to prepare for the trip. So if you mix it not taking me as long, as well as him being slightly delayed, it definitely overlaps to where we can meet up together. So if that's something that y'all guys would want to see, let me know in the comments on here below. But if so, we'd most likely meet up around Ketchikan or possibly Prince of Wales Island. Right now, Noah is actually in Haines, Alaska, which is somewhere that we spent a lot of time. We actually spent the most time in Haines than anywhere else that we have been in one sitting. So it's the longest area that we lived. We lived there for almost a decade, like 9-10 years, somewhere around there. And it was nice. Haines was nice, always beautiful. Winter wonderland, nice place for sure. Our property that we lived on, we actually made the road to it, and it was like 2 miles in, like very, very few people even in the immediate vicinity. We were miles and miles and miles away from anybody. The only neighbors we had, we actually let move onto our property. The closest neighbor was Barb and Delbert, who were mega friends of the family, and we let them stay there for the longest time, and they're really good people. Unfortunately, they've passed away today, as a lot of people that we have known from our childhood have passed away as well. But right now, Noah's in Haines. I haven't been there since I was a kid. I think I was like 13, 14 the last time I was in Haines, and one of these days I plan on visiting it, but not in this trip. So most likely we'll meet up around Prince of Wales Island or possibly Ketchikan, which is also some of our old stomping grounds. So Ketchikan, we originally were blown in by a storm and our boat blew up, the motor blew up. And it wouldn't start, and we were out in Frederick Sound just floating around, couldn't get it to start. Bad weather starting to pull in, and we actually had to do a mayday over the radio. Mom was super pregnant. She was already like right on her due date or just about to get to it, and she was pregnant with rain actually. And so I think the boat that pulled us in was called the Harvester. They pulled up their pots and everything and literally towed us into Ketchikan, and we were stuck in Ketchikan for quite a while actually. And from there, we ended up going, back over to POW. So I was born in Wrangell, Alaska. And Wrangell is one of the small towns on and near the Prince of Wales area. Prince of Wales has quite a few small towns on it, actually. It's got like Craig, Klawock, Kaufman Cove, Thorn Bay, a ton of them. And so we have a lot of history in Prince of Wales Island particularly. And it's a nice place. So one reason about like Haines, why we wanted to leave Haines, is because there's just no deer there. So there's literally no deer, lots of bear, but no deer, and in order to hunt like moose, you've always got to do like a poll. So they randomly select one person to be able to do a moose hunt. But in Prince of Wales Island over on POW, the deer are everywhere. It's a lot more where you can hunt, you can fish, and you can do all that on it. And so Prince of Wales is a really nice area to where we spent a lot of time. And after we left Ketchikan, so Dad went into his original coma when we were in Ketchikan. And the doctors at the time told us he wasn't going to wake up. 75% of his brain was swelled. He was out for 8 days, and they had to fly him to Seattle. So he did wake up, and he was okay. He had amnesia for the longest time, and he never truly fully recovered from it. But he lived for like 15, 16 years after that, and we were truly blessed to have that extra time with that. But after we took him out of the hospital, they wanted to send him to like do the rehabilitation stuff like that and everything, and Dad was really not wanting to do it, and we ended up taking Dad to Prince of Wales Island instead. We took the ferry and we went down, and we actually stayed for the longest time at some campgrounds over in like Eagle's Nest, and really nice campgrounds down there. And they don't like have anything, but we had a like a tent and an old van we had bought that we remodeled so that we could, or a lot of us could stay in it. Some of us still had to sleep in the tent because it wasn't an extremely large van, but I actually don't mind sleeping in tents or under the stars even sometimes. But Dad was in real bad shape then. He couldn't even drive. He could barely walk, had to walk like a cane and stuff like that. And so we were there for a while, a long time while Dad was recuperating, just doing like we used to do, where we'd hunt and fish and survive off the land and stuff. Obviously, we'd still get supplies when we could and stuff like that, with like canned food and bags of beans and all. But Dad got better and better and better and better and stronger until he was doing really well. Eventually, we ended up getting picked up by the show, Alaskan Bush People by Discovery, and we did that for the longest time as well. And we had found our new home, as y'all guys, if you've seen the show, know, Browntown, which was actually one of my favorite places we ever lived. We've lived in lots of different places, had lots of different houses, lots of different camps, but Browntown was an epic piece of property. It was awesome and it was epic. And one thing that made it so nice was the fact that it was super large. It had room for everybody in it. Literally, there was place. It was so big. Everyone had their own area, their own place. And it was also right on the ocean. And to top it off, it had 2 creeks. We were literally in between 2 really nice creeks. So when you add all that together, it was really the perfect piece of property. And honestly, if I had the money, I would buy that piece of property and I would build my home there. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be staying in Alaska forever. I will be bouncing between 3 different locations: Alaska, Washington, and Texas. But if I had the old property in Browntown, that would be really, really awesome. Some memories would, of course, be difficult, but the knowing and the being somewhere that we once lived really outweighs the sadness of the place, because it's somewhere that, that Dad was. It's like last time I was in Browntown, it was before Dad passed away, actually. But the main house was still there, and I don't know if y'all have seen the show, but there was a little hummingbird that he carved on one of the pilings. They're not actually called pilings in houses, but one of the large foundation structure like pilings had a hummingbird carved into it, and Mom actually drew it and Dad carved it out. And so being somewhere like that again, it would just be cool to have all those memories, to be somewhere that had like stuff that Dad had carved and stuff, and a place where Dad literally sat, a house that Dad literally built and all. Unfortunately though, Browntown is mega expensive, so it's a little out of my price range right now. Reality television doesn't pay as much as they say, and I don't have that kind of money, obviously. But I am looking for a place around Kaufman Cove-ish area is the property that I'm initially scouting. But if I go up there with Noah, we're gonna do some campfires and stuff, shoot some footage on his channel and on my channel, and it'll be a lot of fun, and I'll still be able to like scout the property and stuff. He's also got like a skiff and things like that, so I wouldn't have to rent or even borrow a boat to check out the property, because the property I'm eyeing is only accessible through water. So I'll definitely need to get a boat and all. Now, it's not 100% that we're going to meet up, but we might end up meeting up. But I'm not positive, but it looks like our plans may overlap. So let me know in the comments below what y'all guys would think about a little bit of Noah Bear tag team in like the old days. Also, if y'all guys don't mind turning on notifications, giving this video a like, and following, or subscribing, I should say, I would really appreciate it. It helps me out a ton. I'm trying to build this to be like my main platform, and the content that I'm coming up is going to be shot very much like the show. So if you enjoy Alaskan Bush People, you're going to love it. God bless, guys.